Hey everybody, welcome back to the Working Man's Whiskey. I'm Bobby. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good weekend, and keep it short. But just remember those who've served our great country here, and never forget, guys. And it's because of what people have done serving our country that I'm able to do these reviews here today. That you guys are able to do your, just daily stuff, have your daily freedoms, and I think it's important to remember that. I'll keep it right there. But today's review I want to do, guys, is WhistlePig, and it's a straight rye whiskey. And guys, as most of you probably know, WhistlePig is not cheap stuff. WhistlePig, for a full-size bottle at the same store that I got this little guy here for a full-size bottle is about $80. It's like, I think it was $77.99. And that seems to be the going rate around here. Somewhere between, you can find it on sale every now and then for about $70. I see it as high as $90. So it's going to cost you a bit of money. But as you can see, I went with this little guy here. And I'm always encouraging you guys to go with the little bottles. If you want to try something out, if you want to try something out before you get a big one, or if it's just something that you've always wanted to try, but the bottle may be too expensive for a big one. This little bottle here pours the perfect amount, guys, for a drink, in my opinion. And I got this little bottle here for $3.99. $3.99. Perfect for this glass here. And guys, if you go to a bar or something, go ahead and try out WhistlePig at a bar. But it's going to cost you a bit of money. Around here, for this amount of WhistlePig at a bar, it's going to be probably pretty close to $30. Depending on what bar you go to. The bar that I usually spend my time, the Washoe House, when I do go out for a drink. It's a little country bar, and they have a good selection. But my rye whiskey there is Old Overholt. They don't carry WhistlePig. It's a little pricey, for a country bar. We go there to listen to the jukebox, and I think $20 or $30 a shot would be a little much for a little bar like that. So anyway, I do recommend getting this little bottle here. But if your only option is to get a shot at a bar, go for it, guys. If you don't want to spend that $80 for a bottle. So WhistlePig, it's a fairly newer whiskey. The people that run WhistlePig founded it in 2007. Brought Dave Pickerell aboard. He was the master distiller for Maker's Mark for 13 years before going to WhistlePig. And when he came aboard WhistlePig, his mission was to make the best rye whiskey that he could make. So what he did, he went out looking for the best rye. They wanted to grow rye, of course, at the WhistlePig farm in Vermont. But for the initial batch of whiskey, they didn't have whiskey, so they had to outsource. He went to Canada and found an amazing rye whiskey that was scheduled for blending. And he tried this whiskey and thought, wow, this is a travesty for this whiskey here, this rye whiskey to be blended. And he and the people from WhistlePig saved that rye whiskey, bought it from those people in Canada, and started making some pretty good stuff, guys. Started bottling some pretty pretty good rye whiskey. Really good rye whiskey. I'll be honest with you guys, I had never had this before about a week ago. I bought a little bottle like this at the same store with the intention of doing this review, but having never had it before, it was sitting in my cabinet, and brought it out one night. I said, you know what, I got to try this stuff. I've always wanted to try this stuff, and couldn't go any longer, guys. So I popped it open and sipped it that night, and man, it was good stuff. So I had to go back out to the store the next day and get another little bottle to do my review with. It's so it's a straight rye whiskey. Not one special thing. I mean, there's a lot of special stuff about this bottle here, about this what's in this bottle here. But a lot of straight rye whiskeys will use a mash bill that contains about 95% rye. WhistlePig is one of the few that uses 100% rye in the mash bill. 100% rye. Dave Pickerell, he decided to go with 100% rye because he wanted the full Monty, whatever you want to call it, of a good rye whiskey. And the people at WhistlePig told him, hey man, it's going to be a lot harder to do this. You know, there's more involved with the process of using 100% rye, because rye is a funny grain. It can do some funny stuff when you're making whiskey. So that's why a lot of people use 5% malted barley in the mash bill with a straight rye whiskey. But Dave did it. He did it with 100% rye whiskey. So it's 100%. They call this the 100-100. That's one of the little nicknames for it, because 100% rye in the mash bill, and it's 100 proof. And it's also a 10-year-old whiskey, guys. 10-year-old rye whiskey in that bottle, and that's a cool label too. Plan on keeping this little bottle when I'm done with it. And they have different variations of WhistlePig as well. I've seen a few others. The big one is the Boss Hog, I believe it's called, which I think costs even more than this one does. The full bottle. So maybe one day, but got to start saving them pennies up, guys. Let's give it a pour. And as you can see, guys, it's a good, just about a double right there. Maybe not quite my doubles. You know, my doubles are pretty close to the rim of the glass there. So it's a good amount, as you can see. And the color, guys, the color is actually fairly light. But see now this sticks to the glass, and it's sticking to the glass really well, guys. Nice age on this one, but it's it's a kind of a copper color, I'd call it. Let's give it a nose. And the nose, guys, it's funny. It's 100 proof, 100% rye, and the nose is a good nose, but it's very subtle. Look at how thick this is on the glass, guys. Wow. But it's very subtle, which isn't a bad thing. It just doesn't hit you in the face like you'd expect it to. But you do get some good spice in there. You get some like orange zest. I'd say it was like orange zest, orange peel type citrusy note to it. One thing that you get in here, guys, it's a little bit different than some other rye whiskeys. You know, some rye whiskeys you get that more dill, briny type note. The wood, that deep wood note. This one definitely does have some good oak to it, but I'm not getting as much of the other those other notes I just mentioned. I'm getting more of like almost a black licorice type note. Let's go in for a taste, guys. Guys, I'll tell you right now, my taste buds are dancing. Um, this is good stuff. It does have a little bit of a kick to it as far as just that rye spice tingling on your tongue. Maybe it's not a kick, but it's a nice little punch of rye. Um, the the notes on the palate are a lot bigger than what I was getting on the nose, and man, it's really good, guys. Definitely, of course, you get that rye spice in there. You get it's funny. It's 100% rye, but you almost get some of that sweet, caramel that you would get from a bourbon. Some of those toffee notes, definitely some vanilla, a good amount of oak in there, a little bit of maybe a little bit of like a mintiness to it. Um, oh man, there's just a lot of stuff going on with this whiskey. You guys know I love rye whiskey. Rye whiskey for me is right up there with bourbon. Maybe even should I don't know if I can even say a little bit higher, but it's right there, guys. They're like this. Probably depending on how I'm feeling on a given day. But but this is a great whiskey. I can see why the price is what it is. Yeah, they're growing their own rye now in Vermont at WhistlePig Farms, and for a 10-year-old rye whiskey, 100% rye, 100 proof. Man, this is delicious, guys, and I highly recommend it. Like I said, if you can get it in a little bottle like this was $4. $4, guys. The same amount at a bar in a glass is going to run you probably, depending on the bar, probably 20 or $30. What wasn't too long ago, I was in Sacramento for a country concert. Went there to see Cody Johnson, if anybody knows who Cody Johnson is. But went to a restaurant across the street called the Iron Horse, and they had a pretty good selection at the bar there. But I got Booker's, guys. I mean, I love Booker's. I love Booker's. But I got a double of Booker's at the bar, and I believe it ran me about $33. So you're gonna pay, you're gonna pay big time at a bar for Booker's or WhistlePig or shoot. I've even paid $25. I think $28 at a bar in Petaluma for a double of Elijah Craig, guys. So it's like they're gonna hit you pretty good at a bar. This one is well worth the money if you can get it in this. To me, $30 is a little excessive for a double of most whiskeys, but this is a very good whiskey. If you have the extra money, try it out. If you see it at a bar, try it out. I think you're gonna like this one, guys. I want to give this a rating real quick, and then I'll tell you what's going on in my next couple of reviews. I would give this one. I give WhistlePig in the little bottle here. Probably a 90. I'd give it a 92 out of 100. I'd give it a 92 out of 100. I think it's a very good rye whiskey. For a big bottle, though, I don't know if I can stomach paying $80 for this. I see why they charge $80, but guys, I don't really have $80 to spend on a bottle of whiskey most of the time. That's why this is the working man's whiskey. I make an average paycheck, and California is not cheap, guys. It's only getting more expensive, so that's why my next review is going to be another kind of best of the bottom shelf. And what I'm going to do, guys, you guys might remember one of my last reviews was a best of the bottom shelf with Evan Williams, Jim Beam White, and Old Crow. And I picked Evan Williams as kind of the winner out of those three. In my next review, I'm going to line up three more bottom shelfers and pick my favorite of those. And then at some point down the line, we'll do another three, and then I'll put those three winners together and see what we which one wins out of those, and I'll rate them all. I mean, there's a lot of good bottom shelf whiskeys out there, guys. So we'll do that next time, and then also I've got a blended Scotch on the hook. A really good deal. I found a really good deal here in town. It's really good stuff. So looking forward to doing that one too. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Subscribe if you haven't. Definitely check out my Facebook page. And that's it for now, guys. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. And remember those who have given us the protected our rights and have given us the freedoms to do what we love. So here's to them and here's to you guys. Until next time, cheers.